is 6:30 p.m. The regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold for October 7th, 2024 is now called to order. Adequate notice of this meeting is provided at least 48 hours prior to the commencement of this meeting pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 231 of the laws of 1975, the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of the time, date, location of this meeting has been provided by posting a copy of the public meeting dates on the municipal bulletin board and by sending a copy to the Asbury Park Press and the Star Ledger and filing a copy with the municipal clerk. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for a salute to the flag, followed by a moment of silence. Chief Collier, please lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Kane.
Here.
Councilman Gonzalo.
Here.
Councilman Freeman.
Here.
Councilwoman Jordan. Here. Councilman Reich.
Here.
Councilman Rogers. Here. Councilwoman Shelton.
Yes, here.
Okay, item 4 this evening, it's always a great time of the year to do this, is the 2024 participatory budgeting report. I'd like to ask Councilmember Jordan if you would please just introduce us and talk a little bit about it for us.
Sure will, thank you, Mr. Mayor. For a lot of you in the room, you're familiar with the participatory budgeting process that we do in the Freehold Borough. Each year, the council sets aside $200,000 to put out and ask our community what they would like to see us use those funds for. And we've been doing this close to 10 years now. I see some of our former members in the audience. It's a labor intensive, it's every year, so re-educating the public, re-educating first on what participatory budgeting is, and then, voting and the voting process. So I've asked a few members of the committee to come in tonight, so I'm gonna ask Kathy Ackbar if she could stand up, introduce your fellow committee members, and talk about a little bit what goes into getting this up and off the ground. Sure.
We're all coming up.
Oh, good.
We all work hard on it. So. Thank you, Mayor Kane and council members. We appreciate your time. We're very excited to end the season on this high note, be able to announce the projects. Want to thank all of the committee members. Unfortunately, our co-chair, Carrie Bunger, is ill, so she's not able to be here tonight. But we have Ted Eckhart, Ben Xavier, Mark Ralco, Karen Prayer, and Joanna Conley is also unable to be here, and Ron Barco is on the studio as well. We also want to thank our very hardworking council liaison, Annette Jordan, is amazing, and she supports us so well as the borough employees, Robert Ochoa, who works very hard for us, as well as Sasha Tucker and Lynn Cannon. They just help us and support us amazingly. But I know everybody wants to know what the projects are that won. So without further ado, it's our pleasure to announce the winning projects for 2024 are the lights at the bandstand pavilion and electricity to the shed at Lake Papanemus came in number 1. The splash pad at Liberty Park came in number 2. And the third project, which we are going to be able to fund thanks to a grant that the town has already received, which will help offset the cost of the splash pad. We can fund the portable stage, which came in number 3. So that is the 3 projects, winning projects this year. And we just want to thank you very much.
Can I just the intense work that goes into this, by the marketing and the education, and it's year round. We take 1 month out of the year off, and that's going to be November, and then we start right back up again, and we analyze the last election. What did we do right? What did we do wrong? How can we improve it? So kudos to all you guys. You're phenomenal.
Oh, and one other thing I wanted to just remind the public that although we voted on these projects now, they won't be funded until the budget comes out next year. So please don't look for these projects to be done in a week or so. It's just not going to happen. Please, we appreciate your patience in getting these fabulous things done. Okay.
Thank you so much.
no workshop discussion?
Nothing,
tonight?
sir.
Okay. Item 6 is the approval of minutes, council meeting September 16, 2024.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from September 16th council meeting.
I will second them.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schuster.
Yes.
Okay, the minutes of council meeting September 16, 2024 are approved. Item 7 is a second reading public hearing ordinance 2024/20, amending and supplementing Chapter 18 zoning by amending Chapter 18.07 of the Freehold Center Core Redevelopment Plan. This is a public hearing and a second reading. I'd like to open up for the public. If anybody from the public has a question or comment on this ordinance, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Seeing no public comment, I make a motion that we close the public portion.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schuster.
Yes.
Okay, the public portion is closed. We have a resolution adopting ordinance 2024/20 and authorization of publication.
I make a motion that we approve the ordinance.
I will second that motion.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schuster.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2024/20 is adopted. Item 8 is a reintroduction of ordinance 2024/17, amending and supplementing Title II, Administration and Personnel by adding Chapter 2.101, Donated Leave Program.
I'll offer that.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schuster.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2024/17 is reintroduced. Item 9 is the first reading and introduction ordinance 2024/22, amending and supplementing Title 10 Vehicles and Traffic by amending Chapter 10.12 Parking Generally.
I would very much like to introduce this ordinance.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schuster.
Yes.
The ordinance 2024/22 is introduced. Item 10 is the first reading and introduction ordinance 2024/23, amending and supplementing Chapter 10 Vehicles and Traffic.
I also would like to introduce this ordinance.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate the slight bit of humor in here, but I would ask that the all zone pass have
It was changed.
it was changed? All right, then I
Yes.
rescind my statement. Okay.
I agree with that.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schuster.
Yes.
The ordinance 2024/23 is introduced. Item 11 is the first reading and introduction ordinance 2024/24, authorizing the execution of deeds of encroachment easements.
I'll offer this, please.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schuster.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2024/24 is introduced. Item 12 is our consent agenda, and just a note that matters listed under the items of consent agenda are required to conduct the day-to-day operation of the borough and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired of any items, that item will be considered separately. Would someone like to move consent agenda items CR1 through CR9?
I'll offer that.
I will second, but CR9E, church, is misspelled. I don't know what's corrected in the revised. I will get a chance to read it.
No, it was not correct. But we need to correct the spelling in church.
Throw an R in there. Okay. Any further discussion?
I will second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schuster.
Yes.
The consent agenda items CR1 through CR9 are adopted. That's the end of our consent agenda. Item 13 is the approval of bills.
I make a motion that we pay our bills.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Friedman?
Yes.
Rice?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schuster? Yes.
Okay, our bill list for this evening is approved. Item 14, we have a couple redevelopment presentations. I'm going to ask our attorney, Matt Good, if you will just introduce both of these. We'll do one at a time.
Sure, thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, we have, let's see, just grabbing what is on top, would be the 29 South Street. It is Castillo Octavo Grocery LLC, change of use to a, let's see, actually, no, this is the 29 South Street LLC for change of use. Existing grocery store to a,
From a theater, playhouse to a grocery store.
let's see, yes, a theater to a grocery store. I think in your packets, you received a letter from the planning regarding the application. It is, let's see, change of use, it is a permitted use. Really, the parking is also taken in, so we just have some questions, I'm pretty sure we do. Do we have somebody from? There we go.
May I?
Please.
Please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see you all. My name is Kevin Sally. I'm the attorney for the applicant. And they're a tenant that lease space in the building where Center Players was, and there's a row of stores in that building. We're here on two of those spaces this evening. As Mr. Good introduced, the former Center Players space is being proposed to be a grocery. We agree with all of the findings in Ms. Lewin's report. It is a permitted use. It is a reduced parking demand, and there are no facade changes being proposed other than a sign. My client is here with a sign detail that he just obtained today, and he'd be happy to pass around copies of what that would look like. We also understand from discussions with Ms. Allen that that will have to go before historic preservation, so we're prepared to do that very promptly. So Mr. Felix Ramirez is here for the applicant, and we also have our architect here in case you ladies and gentlemen have any questions. And this is relating to the grocery store. We'll talk about the juice bar separately.
You have any initial questions, I
Any
think?
questions from the council?
Go ahead.
Oh, please.
So just a couple questions about how the store functions.
I've just asked Felix Ramirez to come over and answer all of your operational questions.
Sure.
So does he need to swear in?
Sure.
You want to
Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you state your name for the record?
Hello, everyone. My name is Felix Ramirez Octavo. Nice to meet you all. I've been living in this beautiful town for 20 years, and we have a business here in South Street and also on Main Street. One of my businesses is a cell phone store. Second business, we do money transfer. And now that we have the opportunity to expand our existing business to the next store that is now vacant, I would like to make our grocery store a little bigger. And we're gonna offer just the basics, food packages, food that is packaged, toilet paper, stuff like that. Only the basics, yes.
So do you own the market that's just down the block from the Center Players? So that's your current
Yes.
market, and
Yes.
is that one closing, and this one is opening instead?
Right, we're gonna close that one and open
Okay.
it forward to that side.
And we don't know what that other market's gonna become right yet, right? Or is that the juice bar location?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a juice bar location. So you're on a corner of a pretty big, busy intersection, on the corner of South and Mechanic Street. there's no loading dock for this location because behind it is the parking lot for the restaurant back there. And I know there's a dumpster behind the gate. How do deliveries get delivered to your grocery store?
We will be using the back of where the parking lot is right now.
And where do the trucks park?
They'll park right in the back.
Okay. And what are the hours of the restaurant that's back there?
The hours?
Yeah, of the
The
restaurant.
hours
that's
are
open.
9 to 10 p.m.
And when are your deliveries going to be received?
Very early in the morning, 7:30.
Okay. One of the stipulations, should we approve this application? And Counselor, if we can, you tell me if this is actually something that we can do? Are we able to stipulate that parking for deliveries has to be in that lot and that it cannot be on street or on curb?
Do you own that lot?
I'm the tenant, sir.
Let me rephrase that. You're parking, where do you have the parking, or where do you have the deliveries now?
It will be in the back where the parking lot for the restaurant, it's an existing restaurant, I think it's called La Flor,
Is the restaurant, so you're using the restaurant parking lot for deliveries?
We share the parking lot already.
Okay. Do you have a contractual lease or something that says you can use that parking lot?
I don't have it yet, but I can get it if that's necessary.
I mean, do you have it in effect right now, or just?
No, I
No.
don't.
Okay. That could be something, I guess, if the applicant is willing to agree to it.
The concern is that on South Street with all there are a number of restaurants and businesses that get deliveries and the trucks pull up on the side of the road and they block traffic, or they hop the curb and they block traffic. The intersection of this location, specifically in the morning and definitely in the afternoon, is quite busy. I know that you're not gonna get deliveries in the afternoon, but even in the morning time, there's a lot of traffic that comes down South Street, there's a lot of traffic that goes up and down Mechanic Street turning in and out. And our concern is always about traffic blocking both traffic and also the view, making a turn off of Mechanic onto South Street.
We could stipulate that we would provide Mr. Good a copy of a lease addendum that specifically and explicitly allows deliveries to, and their trucks to park in that lot.
That would be appreciated. I also think that and that's what the other half of my question was, can we stipulate that that deliveries on street are not permitted, are prohibited?
You can.
Okay.
You
Well,
can- you can.
the reason being
Yeah.
it gives enforcement grounds to stand on if there's a delivery truck parked outside on South Street. I'm just trying to figure out if that's possible to do.
Is there any ordinance already in effect that prohibits?
Well, there are parking spots that are there, but they are not, I don't think they're big enough for box trucks. And on the Mechanic Street side, the only parking spots are right here in front of Borough Hall.
And that might be a traffic violation as well.
Right.
It is.
Yeah. And it's just trying to just double down on that, just to make sure it's understood that we're trying to avoid that as much as possible.
Once it blocks,
Oh, yeah.
emergency vehicles, we just can't have that.
I try to get to the courthouse in the morning sometimes and during those hours and.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know how it is.
Exactly. So aside from the confirmation that deliveries will happen behind the building, we also need to make sure that there's confirmation of the time of deliveries. That your window is set so that, for instance, if you're going to tell the redevelopment agency that your deliveries are gonna happen between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning, that there aren't gonna be trucks parked back there at 9:30 in the morning when the restaurant's trying to open or something like that. So one of the stipulations that we would wanna put in is that we would wanna confirm your hours of delivery, and that would be something, a window that we have to keep to. Just to make sure that we're, keeping that area as open and free to public, for traffic as possible.
Understand.
Counsel, if I may, he's gonna have to get permission from the restaurant in that code.
Agreed.
I believe they own that
Yes.
lot.
No, the whole building is owned by the same people. Yes.
So I think we
The
should
back
look
building
for-
and the front building are owned by the same people?
Yes.
It's one lot. I'm not sure.
No, it's
how-
two lots, but
I would just think that he would have to get something in
Yeah.
writing.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
from the restaurant, deli, whatever it is.
Right.
That would be helpful.
I think we would be able, I don't know what the relations are between the applicant and the restaurant, but I do know, and what we could control is that the landlord who owns that space will grant us that authority to park there. The restaurateur might not love that, but
But
it's
Kevin,
up to the
on the
landlord.
other hand, the other gentleman that has the business could have a lease that.
Sure, yeah, it'll be
That oversees-
copacetic.
Yeah,
as
he
far as
can't
the
get
lease is
permission
concerned.
if you already leased it out.
Sure, sure. And the landlord wouldn't be able to grant that
Correct.
permission in that
What?
case.
The landlord might grant permission to anybody who pays rent.
That's right.
We can have it.
But the lease might read that he gets those
Yeah,
spots, the other
yes,
owner gets the
yes.
spots.
Well, when it comes to the spots, I guess my question is if those spots are for that restaurant and these spots are being used now by this grocery store, then doesn't, so the restaurant,
This is for, we're talking about when you have deliveries for stock in the store, not parking.
not customers or any other.
Correct, and we're already
Not employees.
restricting the hours of the day where this can take place, and I have a question for, Mr. Ramirez. Do you know how frequently deliveries will be coming?
Once a week?
Once a week. So we're talking about once a week during hours where the restaurant is not operating. So it really shouldn't be a problem, and we will provide you with the contract with the landlord.
And what are the hours of operation?
6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
6 a.m. to?
9
9
No.
Excuse me.
7 days a week?
7 days. So holidays?
Now, Mr. Mayor, the parking, maybe this is more for actually both council. With regard to the theater, it was grandfathered in, let's see, 1 space per 4 visitors with the 13 spaces grandfathered in. The grocery store needs 7 spaces. So technically, you don't have any parking on site, right?
This is not only parking.
Okay, so but despite the grandfathered in the spaces, you understand you're still gonna need to pay the parking deficiency of the 7 spaces.
Correct, I understand that.
Just wanna make sure. Does the council have any more questions?
I do.
for the gentleman?
Garbage.
Garbage. Okay. So there is an existing space in the back for garbage?
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
No.
Not for a grocery store.
Right.
It's gonna be, I mean, I deal with garbage every single day in this town. There's gonna have to come up with a different, and who else, does the restaurant use that garbage too?
They do.
Is that, and that garbage is on their property, or, because it looks like it's on their property?
Well,
Or, I understand it's owned by the same, both properties, but it doesn't look, from this map, this map may not be perfect, but it looks like, if not all, a majority of that dumpster, whatever that place where the dumpster is sitting, it's not an enclosure really, but that,
yeah, we could file a permit to add another dumpster and maybe, surround it with whatever has to be done, we can make it happen.
Mr. Ramirez, I just have a question about that. You said you do operate a grocery currently,
Right.
2 stores down, is that right?
Very soon.
Where's the garbage go in your current
In the
operation?
back, in the same garbage can?
Has it been problematic?
Yes, no.
No
Sometimes people
Well,
throw garbage
I
outside.
actually, I have to disagree. I mean, that dumpster there's a mess behind that dumpster a lot, there's stuff dumped there on other bases.
Mr. Ramirez, are
The
you aware?
dumpster sometimes in the middle of the street, so, I mean, it's definitely a problem.
I seen it, yes.
Have you ever been cited by code enforcement over the condition of the garbage? No. Okay.
But I have pulled out of here and called code enforcement and said, go take a look at that dumpster.
Yeah.
Because there's a problem.
I think the concern is that I think because it's a larger scale grocery store, is it safe to say that the existing location hub is more like a market, like a small market? And this is more like a grocery store with a bigger size scale? I think a bigger size scale is gonna produce more trash. If you put another trash dumpster back there with another enclosure, you're now going to be eating up more of that parking lot, which would potentially hinder you from getting a box truck in there to make deliveries. Even if it's just once a week, you know, it's not, you know, I don't know exactly what size dumpster you're gonna need, but I can imagine that it's gonna be not bigger than the one that's there right now. So the concern is that potentially speaking, this might be something where we need you to come to the table with a solution that's worked out with the restaurant, for instance, or the other businesses, where potentially speaking, there's a larger dumpster there, but it would be even better if the dumpster that's in the market yard lot was utilized, because then we can get the trash out from behind that building. And similarly, well, that's a big word
Closer than
tonight.
a lot, it's closer than a lot of businesses walk to it, so it's definitely feasible.
Yeah, and it would basically mean that the back area was free of space for your deliveries at whatever time in the morning, whatever day it was that they came and they delivered. You wouldn't have to deal with the traffic having to come in. You wouldn't have to deal with the trash overflowing the dumpster or having multiple dumpsters or a larger dumpster. And there are a lot of businesses along South Street that cart their trash over to the compactor that's in the market yard, and so it contains space.
Councilor Resch, is that something he has the right to utilize?
You'd have to meet with the downtown Freehold people to get a contract in place. But depending on what the stuff is, yes.
Will there be any cooking going on in there?
No.
No,
No, not at all.
all packaged?
Yes, correct.
Currently, there's an FDC on the side of the building, I believe on the Mechanic Street, fire department connection. Will that be altered or in use as the fire department?
No.
Will not be.
Any alteration outside, no.
But nothing, so the fire department can hook up and
Correct.
supplies the sprinkler system, and that's gonna stay all
Yes,
intact?
we're not touching anything in the outside.
And you'll have an alarm inside the building,
Yes,
and that'll be accessible to the fire department?
yes.
Okay.
The storage of stuff, is storage all gonna be inside, or is there gonna be storing of goods outside in any way?
Inside,
All inside?
all inside.
With no stuff outside on the street or behind piled up?
I understand that sometimes there's a mess back there. but
Yes,
I go there in the morning, pick up trash all the time, put it in the dumpster. I don't know what people put stuff outside the dumpster, but that's always a problem. Yeah.
Are you hoping that proximity will, let me rephrase that. Is there a concern about other markets in the area that are in close proximity being a major competitor? I mean, you're across the street diagonally across the street from 7-Eleven. I know it's not a grocery store, I understand that it's more like a market situation. But your current location, at least, is a little bit down the block. Is there a concern about competition between 7-Eleven or the market that's on Main Street?
Well, not on our side.
No.
Not at all.
And I'm guessing because of the fact that your parking requirements is so low, what is the majority of your clientele? Are they primarily walkers or?
Correct.
Okay.
Most of the people are people who pass by during the day.
Because unfortunately, you're in a location where if they have to park on South Street, there's no, 15-minute window or something like that. There's a cost for the parking spots there. There's a cost for the parking spots in the municipal lot here, and then there's obviously the cost for the parking behind too. So you're looking at more like walkers, things like that.
But it doesn't necessarily, it's not gonna, you don't know that for sure.
What is your business now?
What's my business?
Primarily, the customers, what are the clientele?
Well, most of the walkers, people who pass by, yes. Because at this time, almost everybody knows that they have to pay for parking. So they rather walk or
I would like to see the sign application, the sign. Can we see that?
Do you wanna pass around just for the grocery?
And this will require an application before the historic preservation for the sign.
Wanna pass one? Yeah, please.
The only other thing that I would ask is, it's something that we've asked of other businesses that are on South Street, is a limitation of the amount of window signage, thank you, that goes into the,
Well, yeah, that's part of the.
and yeah, I'm just bears repeating. No, the idea is that we want people to be able to walk downtown and see into the shops. So if it's covered with signage, it kind of makes it a little less inviting. So obviously there's an ordinance when it comes to window signage. We just ask that, you know, when you are designing your storefronts and things like that, you pay attention to that.
I understand, so, our business are always clean the inside and outside. So it's not-
I have a question.
Yes.
The sign, it says grocery and multi-service. Well, those are grocery store. Multi-service.
That's our existing sign, that's what we have right now.
Oh, so this isn't gonna be your new sign?
We're not gonna change it.
So this is gonna strictly be a grocery store and nothing else?
No, he said they're not going to change the sign.
Oh.
This is the sign that they're gonna
Ah.
use.
Right, that's.
But
existing
This
sign.
is
What's
now,
multi-service?
he said he has other things.
But,
What's
This is
multi-service?
now, that's a store.
okay, so, but that's the other business now, but this business is in front of us as a grocery store. It's just going to be a grocery store.
Right, it's just.
Nothing else.
Nothing else, not for us.
So,
Well, you mentioned before that you had in your existing building, business, you have, cell phones
Yes,
and
I do.
you have, everything with money.
It's a money transfer business,
Money
but it's
transfer?
located on Main Street.
All right, so
Bicycle
that's
sales,
not gonna be a
everything.
part of this?
No, that's in a different, it's in the same building, but different, store.
so you are gonna change the sign, or you're not gonna change the sign?
The sign is the same.
So it's gonna be misleading, because it's not gonna be multi-service.
Okay.
It's for both of the
Mr. Ramirez,
businesses, I think.
can you modify the sign to remove the words multi-service
Well,
from it?
definitely we can.
So the middle business is yours,
Yes.
the center player's business is gonna be yours,
Yes.
and the juice house business is yours.
Yes.
So it's all using this, and
No.
these two businesses, the corner space and the theater space are going under this sign?
The groceries will go under that sign, yes.
And what about the middle space? Is there a sign for the middle space?
For the middle space, I do not have a sign in the middle
Do you
space.
plan to have a sign for the middle space?
Not at the moment.
No. So it's kind of, the two spaces are kind of working in tandem, right?
Excuse me.
The two spaces kind of are working together?
Well, we were on 31A when we started business on 2019.
Right?
So that's when we started, right? We had a sign that when we had.
Right, over this location here. And
then,
now you've got this location now, right?
Correct,
And that's where you sell the bicycles and the cell phones and the other sorts of stuff?
I don't have any
Bicycles,
bicycle and
okay.
stuff like
But
that.
the cell phones and the others, so that's gonna remain in that store?
Yes, that was the.
Right, but the sign is gonna be advertising essentially for both of the stores?
No, I have a sign for the juice.
No, I'm not talking about the juice at all, that's this way.
He just testified that he's going to remove multi-service from the sign, so it's just gonna say grocery. So it's a grocery store that has a sign that says grocery.
Right,
Is that
so,
okay?
but then there's no sign for the other business, right?
The cell phone business?
Right.
There's no sign there now,
Okay. I'm just,
and that's not part of our applications today.
I understand, but he just said that are the spaces connected?
They have a connection in the back.
But it's not gonna be like customer can go from grocery store into
No,
cell phone
They
store?
will have to use the main entrance
And-
in the front.
You're not selling bicycles in there?
No,
I'm sure.
I have capital and I
Okay.
Or sure.
I'm only a couple buildings away, you know.
Yeah,
I
we
walk
don't miss
by
it.
there all the time. They look like bicycles to me.
Yes. They
I'll
look
go
like
under oath.
bicycles to me too.
They look like bicycles to me. Just remember you're under oath.
Yes, in the past, like I mentioned before, I
In
did
the
have
past.
that, but I.
Like last week?
No,
Okay. I'm not trying to put you through the mill, it's just that don't try to snow the snowman, okay?
not at all.
That's all I'm telling you. I don't like to get embarrassed. And I don't want to embarrass you, but let's leave it at that.
Not at all.
They're called e-bikes.
I understand.
Okay.
Any other questions? Just real quick, we have a report from our planner. Are there anything, that you saw in any of this, just
No, it was mostly, we were focused on the parking calculation, but as we went through the calculation as outlined in the redevelopment plan, it doesn't trigger the need or demand for any of these spaces, so they weren't, no new variances were identified. We're not changing footprint of the building.
Does this have to go to the planning board?
Since
For garbage or any of the, like, because there's no garbage enclosure here and this, that, does this have any planning board?
Well, I believe the requirement was that it would utilize the market yard. I think that was.
Well, I don't, I mean, they're gonna look into it, but, I mean, I guess the question is, if that doesn't work, as this application sits as proposed, would this have to go to the planning board?
I do not believe so. I'd have to double check against any, the garbage ordinance, but, I do not identify any, variances.
So I guess if there aren't any other,
Another question, just a recommendation, when you do go before the Historic Planning Commission, they're gonna wanna see a sign application that shows the sign that will be installed in its location where we installed at the grocery store. So this, which is your current sign at your current location, it won't help the Historic Preservation Commission understand what you're looking to put up and where you're looking to put it up. So if you're changing the sign, I recommend getting a new proof to show the HPC where it's gonna be, what it's gonna look like. Same details and everything like that.
The applicant's architect is here in case the board, or the council has any questions. But our testimony is that there are no facade changes other than what you just heard about the sign.
Yeah, I mean, we appreciate him attending, you know, it's always difficult for after-hours work. But you're not changing the facade, and it seems like the internal materials are tile floors, drop ceiling, things like that. So,
Full code compliant.
so the question before the council sitting as a redevelopment entity is whether or not the application with regard to the change of use from theater to grocery store is compatible with the downtown center core plan. Just to, I guess, reiterate, this is a permitted use. A grocery store is a permitted use, and the parking demand is less than what was grandfathered in. And the applicant testified that he understands that despite the grandfathering, there still is going to be a need to abide by the borough's requirement of paying the parking fund. If my notes are correct, the applicant also agreed that deliveries would be in the parking lot behind the building, no deliveries on South Street. And it's going to be subject to some kind of written confirmation that needs to be submitted.
Counselor, can you no deliveries on South Street or directly on Mechanic Street?
well, parking lot only?
Yeah,
It
parking
says
lot.
Deliveries must be in the parking lot only.
Okay.
And that, this was the one, the requirement utilized the market yard dumpster for the trash. I don't know if that was.
We're willing to explore it. Now, what I can't control or I don't know the process, and Mr. Friedman probably knows it backwards and forwards, and his comments was.
We'll go over the type of garbage you have, and it's
Right.
compatible with the dumpster pad, and we can, you know, they have to pay for real garbage, because real garbage is the hauler, and
Sure.
there's a process, but if it's compatible garbage, it's compatible garbage.
So if there's a way, there's a will, you understand what I'm saying? But what I would want the resolution to acknowledge is that if for some reason the partnership declines our request to utilize their dumpsters, that we'd be allowed to proceed as currently situated, because we really don't have any other choice.
I think that if the market yard is not, if the market yard solution does not work out to be viable, then the concern still stands that the dumpster that's there currently now is not large enough to handle the amount of trash that an increased grocery store would put out. So potentially speaking, there might be a requirement, or that might facilitate to have a larger dumpster, a dumpster enclosure or something like that put in.
Well, it needs a dumpster, I think it needs a dumpster
Can-
enclosure no matter what.
Can we agree
If-
that,
if
and I agree with you, if the enlargement of the grocery use is going to somehow cross some threshold where that dumpster can no longer handle it, we could work with your borough engineer on a solution that is satisfactory to the borough engineer, and that could be a way that we can get an approval this evening without having to come back and.
The only question that I have about that, does the closure have to go before the planning and zoning board? Or can we, or,
I wouldn't.
because there's design elements to an enclosure that have to be followed, and
We
if
definitely have to go before HPC.
right, well, right, I mean, the client's gonna have to go before HPC no matter what, and that can potentially be combined into one application. But the question that I have is, obviously, we have design standards for enclosures, for trash enclosures. Can we, if there's an issue with the trash and the trash has to be changed on site, can we authorize our borough engineer to do that, or does it have to go to the planning and zoning board?
I honestly think that if we're just talking about either increasing the dumpster size or putting up some kind of, call it fencing for lack of a better word, that would be something that the code enforcement would be really signing off on. I don't know that that's a site plan, so I think a code enforcer
Well,
would be, if he says no and it goes above, then yes, it would have to go to the planning board.
so potentially speaking, we could approve the use with the stipulation that trash has to either be managed by the market yard dumpster compactor location, or a design of an enclosure has to be, I don't know how to word it, but, we have certain design standards when it comes to trash enclosures. Obviously, HPC is gonna have to review as well. But to Mr. Sadi's point, if the use is permitted and the only question is trash, or how trash is being handled, can we authorize the use with the stipulations that either trash is being handled by the market yard, or it has to be designed to be handled on site that's abided by our.
Well, you can.
That's what I heard them say though.
Yeah, you can, it's not as kind of assigning the answer to the engineer isn't the appropriate thing. I mean, if it's, you either have to utilize the market yard lot or manage it on site with the understanding that we have code enforcement that says, here's how you have to do your stuff, and he doesn't abide by it, then code enforcement, summons it's the normal course of business. So, I mean, that would essentially be the way to go about it. If that's, say, something happens where a whole new thing has to be redesigned, then that might go before the planning board, if that, but that's under.
That was my question. If a trash enclosure had to be designed, it wouldn't have to come before us.
No.
Right? That was what.
Certainly, we would like to avoid having to go through the planning board process, so our first preference is to utilize the market yard dumpsters, and I think that would be best for the site as well as for the applicant.
We basically have two would, could, shoulds here.
Exactly.
And so, how can we vote tonight with those two?
Madam President, if I may, you can vote to approve it subject to conditions, and it'll be our job to meet those conditions before we can ever get a CO.
And then already stated that they would explore the garbage situation. At least I've heard them explain it a few times, that they're going to explore the garbage situation.
I
so
understand that, I
So it's
understand that.
satisfactory.
But there's an issue, of more concern to me is the issue about the
Loading and unloading.
valid agreement with the landlord about the loading and unloading?
We're gonna
Because
be
that is
required to
a
do so.
profound,
Yeah,
excuse me?
we're gonna be required to give that to you before we can get a CO. We won't be able to operate unless we've demonstrated to you.
So our voting on this tonight,
It's subject to the condition that, with regard to that dates.
and those two would, could, shoulds will be clearly delineated in there.
In the resolution, I mean, the applicant has agreed, if he doesn't meet those conditions, then the CO is not going to be issued, and, you know, if something were to occur that after the CO was issued and these requirements were not abided by, well, then he's in violation of his, you know, resolution of approval, and again, subject to standard code zoning officer.
I have concerns as well about the parking, but that's covered by the,
And the rehabilitation plan wants to be able to, it wants you to be able to reutilize the structures, but if you're going more intense, then it offers a mechanism by which to kind of reduce the amount of new parking you provide. But the formula allows for an existing use that is either being replaced by an existing use or a less intense use to not be required to provide parking that was never.
So here's my question on that. Center Players operated at max 12 hours a week. At max,
a week, you said.
a week.
I understand.
You can operate more than that a day. Isn't that like blowing up the intensity by multiple factors?
Unfortunately, the ordinance doesn't take into account
I mean, that's where
hours of
I'm just,
operation.
If that were really a major concern, you're gonna be looking at that vacant space for a long time, because any space, any activity that you authorize to take place there is gonna generate a parking demand. And this particular use, I would argue, and I think it makes sense to you, is gonna cater mostly to people who are walking. So I couldn't think of a better use other than Center Players, which unfortunately is no longer gonna be there. I couldn't think of a better use for that particular corner, meeting that particular challenge, than a use that caters primarily to pedestrians. To me, this looks like a perfect planning opportunity to deal with that problem.
I just think it's too intense. At the end of the day.
All right, so what's before us
What's before
is,
whether or not you find as a redevelopment entity that the change of, that this application is consistent with the real plan, with the conditions that must provide a lease agreement or some kind of agreement allowing the deliveries in the parking lot behind it, that no deliveries, all deliveries will be there, none on the street. And to utilize the market yard lot dumpster, and that if the partnership declines such that trash is unable to be there, you proceed as planned. Again, it's gonna be subject to all of the borough code with regard to trash and,
Let's try, can we sort out this trash right now? We might be able to do it right here.
Can we do what? I didn't hear that, Jim.
I just need to know a couple things about the trash to know whether, I understand, but if you can get an answer. No? Okay.
yeah, I mean, if it's gonna be, then it might be a very quick answer afterwards, and it's subject to, that'll be the first option, but that's the one, that's the
Then we'll
question.
leave it there for now.
Before this council.
as far as the deliveries, parking lot only, defined times.
We didn't set the defined times.
I mean, I think we should.
He said his
It's gotta
deliveries
be
come
prior
at
to 9 o'clock.
6:30
It's gotta be prior to 9
to
AM.
7 AM in the morning.
If the restaurant opens at 9, it's gotta be prior to that.
Deliveries to occur,
He said 6:30 to 7 is when his deliveries.
After 6, it should be after 6 AM, so we don't have to deliver.
after 6 and before, between the hours of 6 AM and 8 AM, is that fair? Is that okay? Good. Deliveries to occur between 6 and 8 AM
Parking lot only.
in the parking lot.
And then the trash is subject to.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do you mention
motion to approve the permitted use with the stipulations as outlined by Councilor Lee.
Second. Second.
Did you second it, Laura?
I did.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Luis, I applaud you as a entrepreneur. Some of your answers I thought were invalid. There's too many untied strings for me. I'm voting no.
Freeman?
Yeah, I'm unfortunately in the same position as Mike. I have to vote no.
Jordan?
Too many variables out there voting no.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
You have a tie vote, Mr. Mayor.
Gee, I never get to vote. Since it's permitted use, but those are two very, very important questions. I agree with the intensity of the use, but it is a permitted use. And as long as those stipulations are acceptable to us, I'll vote yes.
You guys ready for another one?
Yes.
So you just stand up and shake it out for a second?
Well, the next space and the last space that we're here to talk to you about tonight is located at 31A South Street. This is the juice bar. And Mr. Ramirez, Felix Ramirez, you are still under oath. Again, there was a planning letter done, and I agree with everything in this letter. And once again, there are no facade changes being proposed except for a single sign. And there's a sign detail to show you as well for this. And I can pass that out if you'd like to see it.
Yes, please.
Where is this one located?
This is 31A. I think it was 2 stores down.
To the,
So this is,
First one.
this is where the grocery, multi-store was.
Two-
So that's a
two
cell
stores.
phone store, and then Center Players is next.
it's actually this one. Is this one. So this is the same store.
I like
So
you.
there's- So Mr. Ramirez, let's talk trash and deliveries.
Yes, let's talk.
So, obviously you're in the same position as you are with the grocery store. It's a different type of trash, you know, it's, I know that your grocery store's not cooking, but you are doing delis and things like that, and this is strictly food prep, trash, right?
We're not gonna prepare the food, meaning cooking and.
Well, no, but you're making juice. So
Correct.
obviously, like, if you're, you know, squeezing oranges, you're gonna have orange rinds that are gonna be trash. So it's all food trash, whereas like the grocery store is food plus packaging trash, correct?
Correct.
What is the plan for trash mitigation for Viva Juice?
So our plan was to use the same container in the back, the same trash container.
So if the container is no longer a viable option for the grocery store, are you willing to use the market yard,
Yes.
assuming that there's a deal that can be made with the partnership for the food trash? Which,
I don't see any issue with the
Yeah.
juice house trash. That's typical trash we deal with.
so there's at least one less variable than the last one. What about your deliveries for this location?
For the same, well, the deliveries for, I will have to use at least get it delivered once a week.
Okay?
Once a week, and most of the stuff I'm gonna purchase will be from Restaurant Depot, which I bought myself. Because what we're gonna be offering is just orange juices, fresh smoothies, where we use oatmeal, bananas, and stuff like that. So I will go and pick it up myself, yes.
And,
So basically, I might give one delivery once in a while, but that's not.
and this, because there's a central corridor in the back of this building, it has access to the same parking lot behind where the restaurant is. That's where you will park to bring your supplies into the juice
Yes,
house, the Viva Juice.
yes,
So you'll need the same agreement for
correct.
the use of the parking lot as you would with the grocery store.
Yes.
And-
Put in the same, can we just put in the same delivery?
Yeah, Is that
agreement?
window,
That you'll have it once a week during that window?
Yes.
Obviously.
window good
days.
for both, once a week at between the hours of 6 a.m. and 8 p.m.? 6 a.m. and 8 a.m.?
I was just gonna suggest, I think all the same conditions that we discussed with the grocery, I see no reason to vary from any of those same conditions here. And if anything, that'll provide some synergies between the businesses as well, and it's good for the site, so we should stipulate to that as well.
What are the hours of operation for beverages?
7 to 8 o'clock, 8 p.m.
7 AM, 8 PM.
Now, with this juice house, is there like, because I know there's a number of juice places in town that sell Herbalife and do all that sort of stuff as part of their juice experience. Is that
No.
what, so you're just a straight up normal juice house?
Yes.
And coffee,
And coffee.
because it says coffee.
Yes. Coffee,
So
smoothie.
juices, smoothie, and coffee.
Cappuccinos, espresso, as well.
Excellent.
Mr. Mayor, I just have a quick question. Will there be any like incidental, like cash register type items that you might sell incidental to the juices?
My plan is to prepare cups full of fruits and just serve them. They will be packaged, so with the date and all of that.
No wax.
No, like, it's not cheese and bites.
And that requires, like, I guess, some sort of, we gotta get health inspection. Does this require a health food handler permits and all that inspection, this, that, the other thing? And what about water hookup? Is there anything with the water hookup? Because I believe this is now like, this is gonna be go from a store to a restaurant type business. I believe there's additional water hookup requirements.
There's no cooking, so it doesn't have the same requirements as a restaurant. It's just the health department's requirements for free pulsing.
I'd beg to differ with that.
Yeah.
It is a restaurant. They'll be doing food preparation, washing of things, and New Jersey DEP has standards per seat that they measure the water demand and the sewage demand. So we'll have to have our engineers do an analysis, and there will be an increased water and sewer connection charge.
So do we have to wait for the analysis before we can make
No.
a decision on it?
No, it's conditional upon it.
It couldn't open, it couldn't operate for the health department.
Will you be bringing in like muffins and stuff like that to complement your product?
Muffins?
Muffins, scotches,
Baked goods.
That's not.
like bring them in,
We're not planning to do that.
no?
Might you though, if Councilman Di Benedetto, as he on his way to the shop, asked you if you could carry some muffins, might you in the future?
Yes, we can, of course.
Just want to clarify, he's
No,
not,
I just thought it would complement his smoothies, that's all.
I don't want his testimony to mean that there may never ever be anything other than juice or coffee being sold. There may be some incidental things like muffins or fruit cups, or the like.
But it's not gonna expand to like sandwiches and,
I would
That's
consider
fair.
that a different use.
That's fair.
you know, because we do have coffee houses that sell juice drinks and coffee drinks and ice cream and then sandwiches and soups and all sorts of stuff.
Sure, yeah, that's not what this is.
All right, good.
And can
Because
I
that
just-
would definitely be an additional intensity.
Can I just defer to you, Councilman, with the food waste in the dumpsters, would that, is there a,
The fruit waste, I don't, there will not be an issue with that, no. That's straightforward. The grocery garbage, we have to discuss about plastics and this, that, the other, no. Heavier materials that come out of grocery stores. But the juice house there should be no issue with that trash.
Question for the architect, sir. Clear ADA path from the front of the store all the way to the bathroom in the back?
The existing ADA bathroom and the path to it will be ADA compliant.
And where is the bathroom on this drawing?
Back right, behind the red fire panel. Same thing applies, obviously, you're putting up a sign, it's gonna have to go before the historic preservation. You know, this is actually, you know, showing what the sign looks like, so that's good. When you go before HPC, if you can bring a sample, or if you can ask Madam on sign to provide you with a generic sample, just so that they can see the materials that you're looking to use, that's always beneficial to them as well. Part of their application actually asks for samples to be submitted as well. And same as before, obviously we have a sign ordinance in regards to window signage as well. The more open that your windows are, the more lighting your store becomes.
I do like the signs for both, I will tell you, the signs are good.
Nice to have more signs like that on South Street.
Absolutely, we want signs like that.
Any other questions? Council's gonna get for us?
Sure.
Last.
Essentially, it's a repeat of what we just went over. We have a change of use from a, I guess, a retail space to a juice bar. The parking demand is really unchanged, and it's going to be subject to any deliveries to occur in the parking lot behind the building between the hours of 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. Subject to the production agreement that allows them to utilize the parking lot behind and the use of the market yard dumpster. Subject to those conditions, whether or not the change of use in this application conforms with the downtown plan.
I'd like to make a motion.
I have
I'll make
I have one quick question. What's your capacity? How many people can be in there,
How many people can be in there?
sitting down and?
We have to go for how many seats?
It's on the drawing room.
It was 11.
11 seats, 2 employees.
Two employees. Okay.
I apologize, I forgot to ask a question. The signs that you're putting up for both locations, are they lit at all?
No.
So there's no internal lighting, no backlighting, nothing like that?
No.
But your hours of operations do traverse into the nighttime hours? So the juice bar is open from 7 a.m. to
To
8 p.m. and the grocery store is from
6 to 10.
6 to 10. But you're not planning on any lighting for the sign
No,
whatsoever?
for the signs, no. We use-
Let the grocery was 6 to 9.
That's what I said, 69? I apologize, it's a mistake.
You might want to prepare yourself for a conversation with the HPC about lighting. In a downtown area where we have businesses that operate for the night, it's typically nice to have some sort of lighting to light the signs. I think
Goosenecks was.
goosenecks would be nice for these signs. They're very nice style signs, and I think that goosenecks would benefit the look of the outsiders as well. So something to consider before the HPC application.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve this. I think this is consistent with the intent of the plan. I don't think it's too intense. I think this is a good fit, so I will certainly offer this.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan? No. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schuster? Yes.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, you don't get to vote this time.
Okay. Got one. All right, thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, item 15 is public comments. If anyone from the public care to make a comment to the governing body, please step forward, take a seat, and just for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. My condolences to your family as well.
Thank you.
I'm here to address you all tonight. Mr. Gallo and Mr. Lithgow. I'm sorry, address 13 Robertsville Road.
Thanks, Chief.
Delissa Waste Services, the trucks are spewing their garbage all over town and the streets. Robertsville Road looks horrible. There's about 5 or 6 stain spots where the truck compacts when they pick the garbage up in front of the house. I even tried to wash out the street a little bit. I reached out to Mr. sweeper come down. You guys pay a lot of money, I know, from sitting up there on some of these streets to resurface them, and you pay a lot of money to provide services for waste and recycle removal. So that's something that the company could be doing on the maintenance side to maintain their equipment instead of destroying the streets. So, I don't know, the remedy, I know, where I work at Long Branch, we had to actually go out and power wash the streets with the chemical to, get the stainage up. Perhaps that might be some, but Public Works, I know they're tied up. But, it's not just Robertsville. I've noticed some of the other streets where the trucks have gone down and it's just the waste is just dripping and leaking from underneath the truck. So they're not providing a fair service back to the town by, doing that around town. Also, I'm sure you're all aware the tipping rates have gone up with the county. So I noticed there's a considerable amount on garbage night of people putting bulk material out around. That's costing you guys extra money when you pick up their garbage. And that's on turn, it's on the taxpayers and stuff, as you all know. So I asked that you guys look into something to remedy that situation. I know you do the mayor's cleanup, but something to tidy up with the bulk. Perhaps come up with another idea. We're very friendly in this town with picking up the waste with the residents, what they're allowed to put out each week. But might be time to come back to look at something to kind of tighten that up a little bit to save on some of the costs. That's it for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I can comment,
Sure.
appreciate Mr. Sims' comments. We are presently out to bid for solid waste services, and we have offered to the prospective bidders the option to give us a proposal with and without bulk pickup, with an eye towards better managing the management of bulk, perhaps in-house, perhaps doing a system whereby you only get to put out a certain number of items each month instead of just put it out whatever you want. So we are looking at the alternatives, and we're hopeful that we'll have a pricing scheme that we can afford. My understanding is industry-wide, the renewal proposals for this year have gone up about 27%. So that's kind of what we're looking at. We're looking at reducing bulk items in particular that are in that solid waste.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public care to make a comment? Next, Christine. Wait.
Good evening, everyone. Nick Palumbo, 8 Vaught Avenue. Hello. I just have a question. I have been hearing major stories about sidewalks. A few years ago, when we voted on the $200,000 when Little League got their lights, I proposed, I think it was $50,000 for repairs. Now, being a Tree City, USA, you know as well as I do, the trees eventually damage sidewalks. I'm just here to wonder why, years ago, I got my sidewalk repaired when Mayor Wilson was in office, and it was a 50% deal. Earl paid half, I paid half. And it was a nice deal. I thought we were going to go with a line item for repairs to the sidewalk. I mean, did I miss something? Or just curious.
You mean to do that every year?
Yes.
No.
I thought there were going to be a line item for repair to sidewalks.
That was just one off.
Just,
Yeah, and it was, I don't know if you want to talk, there was a couple of years, it was a PB project, like, we did a sidewalk repair program, and then one other time we did a shared sidewalk with Steve. If you want to,
I've been in discussions with Councilman Benedetto, who's interested in revisiting this program. I think it's important to point out that the responsibility for the maintenance of sidewalks lies with the homeowner.
oh, I know that.
Now, we would ideally like to see every sidewalk brand new, and we'd like to pay for it, but that's contingent upon our ability to get grant funds that would cover that, because we don't want to add that additional burden to the tax burden. So we may be looking at another round of this with the 50/50 sharing, but it's in the discussion stage. It's not something that we can just do every year.
Okay.
With all due respect, when I was on with Mayor Wilson, I believe I talked to the mayor about that yesterday. The old mayor, Mike Wilson. It was every other year. He was telling
Every other?
Yeah, he's older than you and I, Nick, and he remembers.
Oh, yeah.
But,
He sold me
said
my
it was
house.
every other year. I have talked to the CFO, I've talked to the BA. We're tying up, people are just paying us back from 7 years ago, which should have been paid by now, but the way the old CFO put it together, people are getting billed 2 years after they got their sidewalks done. So we gotta get jammed up. And we don't wanna bond the money. We wanna have the money in-house. So, I'm looking to bring it back.
Okay.
Hopefully, maybe next fall, we can introduce it, and then maybe following spring, bring it back.
We have an
And Raleigh
excellent
definitely-
grant writing company. And with an excellent company that applies for grants for us. So it's on our radar.
Okay.
And while it doesn't address your problem now, the trees that we're selecting now will be less disruptive to the sidewalks. They won't have those roots that come up like that. They'll be deeper roots, and they won't cause that rising.
You know, I did bring up the trees. I know the utility companies are not crazy about where the trees are planted,
Right.
because it's a matter of no time flat and they're up into the wires. I'm just curious, is there any way we can get around that? I
Yeah,
don't know.
the trees that we're selecting now that will be on the power line side will not be those big trees that go up around the wires.
That envelop the wires.
Yeah, exactly. So we have lower canopy trees for
Okay.
that specific reason.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Christie, next.
Hello, sorry, my name. Christine, West George Street. I have 3 things to talk about tonight, and I won't be long. First of all, I want to thank Councilman Friedman for yesterday in the Oktoberfest. I had a really nice time. I saw people I hadn't seen in years, including some fellow employees from way back when. The crowd was huge, the weather was beautiful, and I think everyone had a good time, and thank you very much.
Very well.
The second person I want to thank is our chief here. 4 times last school year, I am the crossing guard, as we all know, at Rosalina School. And I asked 4 times if we could get the sign up that indicates how fast people are going. Nothing ever happened. On September 22nd this year, at the Latino Fest, the chief showed up, and I mentioned it to him. 2 days later, 2 days, the sign fixture was up. I just wanted to thank you publicly, because to me, that's good customer service, and I really appreciate that. The third thing I want to bring up, I just found out this past Tuesday, because Domenica, a borough employee, actually gave me the letter and told me about what happened. I never received it. The letter is dated July 21st, 2022. The owner of 83 Broad Street decided that he wanted to build 2 houses on the lot. There is a lot of acreage there. But unfortunately for me personally, the property line butts up to my property. When I moved in, one reason I bought the house with another individual is because of the beauty in my backyard. It was all woods. I have my animals, my birds, I have plant life back there. And I realize when people have a house and they have empty lot possibilities that they're entitled to do that. I don't blame the U.S. Postal Service because my mailman is really nice, he's efficient, and he's reliable. I never got a certified letter, and again, this letter, if you want to see it, is dated July 21st, 22. I know the present owner did come to a council meeting to talk about it, but I had no idea because I didn't get the letter. There's not much I can do about it now, but we talk about so many issues here in town about quality of life. Well, my quality of life is not good right now. They've taken down every single tree right next to my property, totally decimating the property. And I don't know what to say. I just had to come tonight to mention it. Do I blame the planning board? No, I'm not trying to do that either. But I think if this is going to be the precedent where everyone in town has extra acreage and they can build houses on it and not destroy, because I'm okay, I'm still alive, but to impinge on people who don't want that kind of thing. As we all know, in Western Monmouth County, we're way overdeveloped. It's unbelievable now. I won't even go out anymore in my car because of all the forests being destroyed and everything like that. And maybe you don't feel the same way, but I just wanted to mention tonight, there's got to be a better way. Thank you.
Thank you. Dawn?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, I have two things to say.
Just
One,
state your name and address for the record.
Yolanda Kirby, 54 Bond Street. The thing, since we're talking about trees, I have a question. Now, back of my house is nothing but trees. And, you know, one of my neighbor's trees had fell and hit and destroyed her shed. When I look in the backyard, I always see trees falling. And then I look at TV and I see these hurricanes. And I said, please, God, don't let us have one. Because I be looking and I see those trees going like this, and I be looking at my house. I said, I need a big net. So if the tree fall, the net can catch it, and it won't hit my house. But that's just imagination thing. But I'm just want to know, is there any way possible those trees can be trimmed or cut? Because they falling by themselves, but I don't want it to fall on my house or anybody else's house.
Didn't we discuss this before?
Yeah,
And
that's
it was
that property.
county? Is that property?
The property back there belongs to us.
Oh.
Yes, it's the former sewage treatment works, and it's wetlands for the most part. It's large. It's probably 17 acres of rural homes in the township. And it's a woodland. It's a natural habitat. Christine wants you to go over there and listen to the birds. We can take a look at it. I'll have Bobby have the forest to take a look and see if would be in danger of striking your house.
Yeah, I hope so. I pray anyway. Like I said, thank God we don't have bad weather like that. Second thing I want to Second thing I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that is cream stuff. It's gonna melt.
Thank you. Anyone else in the public care to make a comment?
Good evening. My name is Ryman Lewis, live on Ann Street. Talking about the racetrack parking lot. This agenda that you have on here, okay, about, I want to say 7 to 10 years ago, I brought to this council, not you, but before you, and about rezoning that property. And it was in the works, nothing was ever finalized. Why not?
We talked about many things at that time.
But we talked
in
about
fact, we
rezoning
offered
it
to
where 55
and older
and
That was
no
one of the-
kids.
Right. Mhm. Absolutely.
Why wasn't it done? Why wasn't it finalized?
We wouldn't be able to answer that. Why was something wasn't done 7 years ago? It's presently zoned as a residential neighborhood for single-family homes.
I understand that.
And that's
But
what his
our
concern
schools cannot handle this. It's impossible for our schools to handle. If you put homes on that property, if the racetrack sells that, where are all these kids going to go?
Well, as you may have seen on the agenda tonight, we had a resolution authorizing a redevelopment plan.
I
It's
understand
basically
that.
going to study all of the acreage that's involved and make a recommendation for the highest and best use for the community. So that would probably involve rezoning if it's warranted to a different use for that particular area. I can tell you through my conversations with members of the council and governing body, there is little appetite for high-rise apartment buildings and office parks and all those things that everybody seems to be wanting to build in these days. Whatever is going to happen is going to involve a high degree of community input, and it's going to be something that would be accepted by the community. We're not going to allow something to happen that's going to be detrimental.
No, I understand, I understand what you're saying, don't get me wrong there. But I'm talking 7 to 10 years ago, and there's people on this board were here at that time.
That's right.
And we discussed this, and I wanna know why it was not finalized. Because we had a good audience here from that area.
Sure. We understand what the area would like to see. I can tell you that most likely it wasn't done because there was an objection made by the racetrack itself. Because that would affect the valuation of their property. If you put a different zoning standard.
We
discussed it.
rezoned over there to expand the lot size.
What was that,
I
sorry?
thought something was rezoned over there to expand the lot size. You know, to require, so they couldn't put in a ton of million apart. I thought something was done.
We discussed many things, just.
Because
Well, and the big thing was exactly what he said, the 55 and older,
Right.
uh,
And plus
community.
the nursing home over there was interested in that property at that time. Because they wanted to put in the nursing home.
But the track wasn't, so we couldn't, we couldn't
Right.
go with that. I don't remember them being, interested at the
Yes,
time.
yes, they were.
I remember that.
Yes,
The day you called me, I called him,
okay.
and I said, and my wish is not high rise or.
Now, the rezoning,
And I can't answer you, Roman,
okay,
why, what happened to it. We clearly discussed it. If you recall, George Schnurr was one of the leaders of the issue, wanted to do something, and I can't tell you. I can't.
Yeah, I can only speculate
That it was the
we
track.
wanted to move
Discussions with
forward
the
with
track,
it, and someone at the racetrack objected
But-
vehemently.
now my question, which I don't know, why would the racetrack have any input on the town rezoning a piece of property?
Well, in as much as it was their piece of property, I'm sure they'd want to have it.
Okay, but what's the best for the town?
That's exactly what we're pursuing at this point.
Why we're doing the plan, for that exact reason.
We're watching very,
Yeah, because I hate to see homes put in there.
so would we, so would I.
Yeah.
I live there too.
I know you do, I know. All righty, I thank you.
It's good to see you, by the way,
Oh, it's awesome.
Romer. It's good to see you, Joan.
Oh, thank you.
Anyone else from the public care to make a comment to the governing body? Seeing no further public comment, entertain a motion to close the public portion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers? Yes. Schuster?
Yes.
Okay, our public comment section is closed. Item 16 are council reports and comments. Start off with Council President Schutzer.
Yes. Well, first of all, just personally, Stacy, Darnell, nice to see you all. I like your siding. National Night Out is tomorrow night with, along with, the first flavor of Freehold. National Night Out was rained out, if you recall, when it was originally scheduled in August. And so it's been rescheduled for tomorrow night. So we have that going on downtown, along with the flavor of Freehold. I think that there's some tickets still
There are still
available
some tickets left.
at $25. And the ticket will get you to the restaurants, participating restaurants, and the money will be donated to the Alliance to Prevent Substance Abuse, which is Annette and Jeff and I are on that committee shared with the township. On October 19th, the high school is the medical club there. The trainer club is sponsoring a yard sale, and we are going to, as soon as we get the information, we are going to publish on our happenings where to take anything you might want to donate for sale at that time. We have 2 trunk or treats coming up, one at the Learning Center on October 18th at 6:30, and one at the high school on the 28th. Those are excellent causes, and they are fundraisers for the respective schools. Jeff, my appreciation and thanks for yesterday was wonderful. Didn't hurt that the weather cooperated.
It always helps when the weather
Yes,
cooperates.
it was a beautiful, beautiful day, and lots of people in town. After I left there, I drove around. I always do, and all the restaurants downtown, the outdoor cafes, everything was full. So it was a good day for Freehold. October 19th, we have Food Stock. Food Stock is a wonderful, wonderful charity. It'll be held out at the municipal building behind the firehouse in the township. They will accept donations of food. Many of you got bags on your doors that you fill up with food, and they'll pick them up, and then they Food Stock donates that money to those goods to the food pantries. Provisions Promise Pantry will be having a diaper drive, and on the 12th of the month, from 11 to 3 at the police station, you can drop off diapers. Mr. Xavier, thank you very much for the Harmony in the Park. It was an amazing experience for Freehold Borough. I don't know how to describe it except just a wonderful spirit in that park, with families, kids running around and playing, and people bringing in TV trays and sharing cheese trays, and laughing. It was just a wonderful family experience. We had 4 of those concerts in September, and it was wonderful. Thank you to you and your committee. Everything spectacular. I almost wore my spectacular shirt tonight. Is going on right now. Friday night was a movie night downtown. First movie for the younger set was Beetlejuice. Second movie was the old original Frankenstein. And we had, again, wonderful family night downtown. So, your spectacular group. And I'm sure she will hit the other things that are going on. But this Sunday is the ever popular haunted hayride, and it's not just for kids; it's for anybody. And the hayride is absolutely wonderful. You get on those things and sit on hay, and drives you all around town for the decorations and skits going on, and it's a wonderful, wonderful time. And now I thank Yolanda. I want you to know I sat here smelling this pork chop this entire night, drooling. Yeah. And don't worry, we'll get to this banana pudding.
It's enough for one.
Maybe. Thank you, Yolanda.
Don't let Sharon take it home.
Yeah, which Sharon will. Anyway, our sincere condolences to the Schmiegel and Lithgow families. John Schmiegel, I don't know how to describe him except just a gentleman and a gentleman, passed away, and he just so happens that he was Kevin's stepfather, married to Kevin's mother, and he will be missed. A lovely man, and we're sorry. We'll miss him.
Thank
you. Fred Lithgow died as well, who was the grandfather of our Bobby Lithgow. And again, he was a long-time Freehold resident, didn't live here at the time of his death, but he raised his family here, and he was a wonderful man as well. So to the Schmiegel, Kane, and Lithgow families, we offer our sincere condolences.
Thank you. Councilmember Di Benedetto.
Yes, my condolences to the mayor and his family on the loss of John, and to the Lithgow family also. My condolences to the rest of the council if they had anything to talk about after Sharon got done talking, so good luck with any events you might come up with. Jeffrey, great job yesterday.
Thank you.
Chief, the police department did a fantastic job along with our DPW and making sure everything went smoothly. To the Presbyterian Budget Committee, great job again, as always. Danny Xavier, excellent, warm feeling down at the park that you brought. Thank you. I'm going to tell you a quick story of what happened. You get to meet people that you never met before. Well, the last band was Ocean Avenue Stompers. The gentleman that ran it said he was from Manasquan. I went up and said to the gentleman, so where in Manasquan did you grow up? He said, well, family's on 2nd Avenue. I moved to this part of Manasquan. My family's heavily involved with the fire department. So I mentioned out a few names, and he said, no. I mentioned a cousin of mine who's on the council down there, Bruce Bresnahan. He said, I was in Barney's wedding. I was his ring bearer. I said, well, I was there. He's my cousin. And the conversation continued on from there. But just a warm feeling down there at the park. Thank you very, very, very much. One thing I was going to say, but I lost my train of thought. The sidewalks. I'm not going to be afraid to say it. One of our taxpayers got hit, and he went on a little witch hunt. I'm going to just tell you all what happened. You can call Jalissa, email Jalissa. If you see the October 8th court date, you don't have the money, you don't have the means, power to do it, just please email her. She got over 100 complaints. I was one of them, actually. And I already had a contractor coming over to do my sidewalk, but he was doing my porch. So I got mine done too. I think a couple other people on this board up here might have got cited also. But that's what happened. And the code enforcement they have to answer complaints, and they did. So don't get alarmed. If you don't have the means to do it this year, just send her an email or give her something in writing so she has it, put it on file. Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you. Councilmember Jordan.
Thank you. Again, PB, thanks for the amazing work you guys do. I know it's a lot, and I appreciate that. And we all appreciate that. Mayor's Wellness Committee, on September 25th, we had a workshop. It was really wonderful. It was the educators from our health department, and they spoke with our seniors at Hudson Manor, Sharon over there, about managing your health care. It was interactive, it was phenomenal, and we're really looking to do a few more of those, so more to come on those, but it really was extremely successful. We had a great time. And that's Angelica and Kelsey were the education people for the health department. Just they know their stuff inside and out. So recreation, right now, if you go online, front page of our website, you scroll down, you can register your child for the Real Basketball League. Registration is now open. That'll be starting in December, so get your registration in as soon as you can. That's run by a bunch of really committed volunteers as well as our recreation. Also, recreation will be they partnered with Spectacular for the house decorating contest. The deadline to get your house in is the 9th. That's this Wednesday, and then judging will be on the 11th through the 17th, and the winner will be a non-step monster match on the 19th at Hall of Records. And they're also going to be at the hayride, working in conjunction with the Spectacular Committee, running games and things like that in the parking lot while people are waiting to get on the hayride. And get there early, because we had a 2.5-hour wait last year for the ride, so get there as early as possible if you want to get on. It's a lot of fun. That's the hayride, let's get that. Other upcoming events, we did the movie night, like Sharon said, on Friday. Saturday morning, we hit it up with Cornstalk downtown. Then we also have the hayride this Sunday. We have the Monster Mash on the 19th, that's for Jack Lynch Project as well. And then on the last Sunday of the month, we have the costume contest, which starts at 12 noon in the track parking lot, and at 1 o'clock we step off. So hopefully everybody come on out, it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Rogers.
Thank you. I just wanted to, mention, for the library, the, construction just about done. We had to, do some, paint fixes, and the elevator arrived and it's being installed. So we're almost there. We should see it opening soon. I hope. But it's looking really, really good. I wanted to say to the participatory budgeting committee, I think you did an awesome job. I really enjoyed the videos. That was a nice addition this year. And, you know, I'm very happy with the projects that were selected to be funded. I think there's something in that group that benefits everyone. I wanted to, I went to the Latino Festival, and that was a wonderful time. It was just full of music, and, you know, it was just a lot of fun. And Oktoberfest yesterday was also a lot of fun, you know, walking around here, the music, seeing beautiful vendors and everything. You know, as the cooler weather approaches, we're going to have less going on outside, but we still have plenty of opportunities to get together as a community. And I love seeing the community come out and do, you know, do things together. Don't forget, we have a whole line of different restaurants downtown. So, you know, we can still get out and gather, maybe not for a concert, you know, during the cooler months, but, you know, to hang out and support our local businesses. Thank everybody for coming out tonight, and, you know, hope to see you around town. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Reich.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Unfortunately, I have to start with some sad news as well. I found out just before the meeting that Gunnery Sergeant Ed Temple's wife, Pam, passed away this morning at home. She's been sick for some time. And we are saddened, and we keep the Temple family in our thoughts. I want to say congratulations to Jeff Friedman, downtown Freehold, and all the volunteers for Oktoberfest yesterday. It was an awesome day downtown. I want to tell you that your barricade guards were a little bit, you know, pushy at certain points, but they did their job great, and it was a lot of fun. And thank you to the police, the chief, for monitoring everything. It was just an awesome afternoon downtown. And also accolades to Downtown Freehold, the Historic Preservation Commission, and Freehold Borough with the Neighborhood Protect NPP program. The half-mile horses closing ceremony is coming up next week. I'm really interested to see who wins Win, Place, and Show, because as of the middle of September, the online votings, I think there were 2 horses that were tied. So we'll have to see how that comes out next week after the ceremony. October is leaf and brush collection month, so if you are dealing with yard work, put it out by the curb, it'll get picked up starting the 1st of November. If you're in some of the streets in town like mine, you have a bunch of eghorns, because apparently the squirrels are not doing their job this year. So make sure that they're putting out brush that it's less than 4 feet in length. Please be mindful of our DPW and the equipment that they have. A shameless plug, the Masonic Lodge in Freehold, Olive Branch Lodge number 16, is celebrating its 175th anniversary on Saturday, October 19th. They're having a cornerstone and rededication ceremony from 4 to 6 p.m. at the lodge, with a small banquet at the lodge afterwards from 6 to 8 p.m. It is a free, open to the public event. We'd love to have as many people out from the public to join us. We're going to have representatives from our state Grand Lodge, our state headquarters, from the Borough Council, from the township as well, and some other important dignitaries as well. Please join us as we celebrate an amazing milestone for a very special organization that has lived in this town for almost 2 centuries. Last but certainly not least, for those who celebrate and observe, Shana Tova, Happy New Year, and Yamar Tov, may you be sealed in the book of life this coming November 4th. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilmember Fried.
Thank you very much. I do really want to thank, as always, the Streets and Roads and the Police Department for their help with the Oktoberfest. The events we do downtown is done by a village, just like everything in this town. It takes a village to get these things done, from the volunteers to the police to the Streets and Roads. So thank you to all that, and I'm glad everyone had a good time doing it. I am tired. Flavor of Freehold is, yes, tomorrow night and Wednesday night. Tickets are still on sale. Final concert for downtown Freehold is Wednesday, featuring 9 South. Be sure to listen to the Boss is running commercials promoting downtown now, so if you listen to that, that's money that as part of a grant that the borough was able to get to help promote downtown businesses, so we appreciate that. And if you're up early tomorrow morning between 6 and 8:30, because they're on News 12, they'll be downtown, and then Wednesday they'll be doing interviews with local business people on News 12 between 6 and 8:30. So check that out, and hope everyone has a good rest of the week.
Great, thank you. I also just want to thank everyone for coming out this evening. Great turnout tonight. Congrats, Jeff, yesterday, and actually all the events all summer were tremendous. Dan, concerts in the park, you guys had a great idea, and it turned out even better than what you guys probably hoped for. But it's a great event down at Concerts in the Park. BB committee, you guys always do a bang-up job, so thank you for everything you do. I just want to thank, on behalf of my entire family, I just want to thank all the council members, Steve, Tracy, Chris, Matt, all the employees in Borough Hall, just for everything. I mean, it was a rough week, passing on my stepdad, but the food, flowers, cards, just kind words, and but the number one thing is the friendships. Just being there, and so the family kept saying, "Man, it's just everybody's just such great people." And I said, "Absolutely, 100%." So it was a rough time, but I just want to personally thank everybody for everything you guys did. So really appreciate it. Thank you. There being no further business, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that.
So be it.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Rice?
Yes.
Rogers? Yes. Shelter?
Yes.
Good night. Thank you. We are adjourned.